What's up, everyone? Thanks so much for checking out this particular video. For those that are interested, um, I wanted to just go over how heaven, I believe, is worth what we are going through now. For many of us, we sometimes face hard or difficult days or challenges. I think that when I think about heaven, I think it can really put into perspective what we're going through and what heaven can be like. And so maybe I will wait a few minutes to see if anyone wants to join for this particular live stream. I didn't plan this live stream, and so this is more of a just random type of live stream. And it might take place in place of my video for today. But thanks for those that do check in. Um, I believe that heaven has wonderful benefits that I think sometimes we don't always get the picture of heaven. And you know, um, I'm just gonna go to some pictures that I think can really paint a little picture of what heaven is like. And I'll share my screen for those that want to watch what I'm doing. And so let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so, you know, we sometimes see these pictures, and I'm just on Unsplash and iStock photos. Give credit to the person that took this photo, but you see how great heaven can be. I just typed in Olympic National Park where we have this in my area. I don't know whatever area that you're in, but this is just a great photo. You see here just the water and the cliffs here and these rocks that are placed in just such a strategic way. And you see all the greenery and the blue skies. This is what heaven, I believe, will be like, but just on a greater scale. As I scroll, we see these wonderful trees right here on this rock mountain side. We see just beautiful scenery. And again, this is the Olympic National Park close to where I live. And I just want to paint a little bit of a picture here. You know, Wonderful beaches. I think that when you type in just something that can remind us of heaven, we can get a little bit of a reminder. So these are just some other pictures about heaven. You know, Again, I think heaven is going to be far greater than this. But even when we look at, even if I were to type in a photo of Israel, I believe heaven is going to be similar to the community that we see in Israel, but just 10 times greater, you know, maybe a million times greater. This is Israel, this is Haifa. I've never been to Israel, but as you can see, some of those photos are just amazing. And so when I think about some of the things that people can go through or just the hard times that we see, sometimes we can ask ourselves, is it worth it? Is what we're going through worth it? I think I've thought to myself, oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But at the same time, there's many days where I'm like, you know, wow, it must be worth it, because when you add up just some of the pain that we can go through, some of the emotional pain that we can go through, we have to really have that realization that when we reflect on who God is, and I think I'm going to share my screen again and look at some of what heaven is described as and who God is. We get a picture of how, you know, heaven is so much better than what we can imagine. And so I'm going to go to Revelation, and I'm going to go to chapter 21, 22, and we can sort of get a picture of heaven. And so let me share my screen again. So Revelation chapter 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the old heaven and the old earth had disappeared, and the sea was also gone. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, like a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. I heard a loud shout from the throne saying, "Look, God's home is now among his people. He will live with them, and they will be his people. God himself will be with them. He will wipe every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death, or sorrow, or crying, or pain. All these things are gone forever." So, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but we get just these pictures of heaven where that one was describing the emotional uh pain side of it, where I believe Earth would be even amazing if we didn't even experience pain, sorrow, crying, different things like that, but yet we sometimes do. And so if we just take that alone, where we're just like, you know, no more pain, no more sorrow, and we go back to those pictures of Earth, how it is now, we know that we do live in a sort of a paradise like place. But yet, because we have pain, because we have sorrow, because we have crying, because we have mourning in regards to death, those things I think make it hard for us to really see the beauty. And so I know I'm 31, and I look forward to the rapture. I look forward to a place of no more sorrow, no more crying. And so when we add up just the amazing part of what God is doing, I think we can come to the conclusion of how life is better by far in heaven. And God is going to really repay us for the hard times that we see. Even though I know sometimes the whole repayment thing can be hard, but I believe God can bless us even in the here and now, even in today's time. And so, thanks so much for checking out this live stream. I think I'm going to circle back and do another video on this, more of a recorded video in my little corner in my room here. But hopefully, these pictures and this little description of heaven can be helpful. And before I go, I want to just uh, share my screen again and look at the description of the New Jerusalem. And this is where we get more of a depiction of the beauty of heaven. Verse 10. So he took me in the spirit to a great high mountain. There we go, mountains. And he showed me the holy city, Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. It shone with the glory of God and sparkled like a precious stone, like jasper, as clear as crystal. The city wall was broad and high, with 12 gates guarded by 12 angels, and the names of the 12 tribes of Israel were written on the gates. There were 3 gates on each side, east, north, south, and west. The wall of the city had 12 foundation stones, and on them were written the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. The angel who talked to me held in his hand a gold measuring stick to measure the city, its gates, and its walls. When he measured it, he found it was a square, as wide as it was long. In fact, its length and width and height were each 1,400 miles. Then he measured the walls and found them to be 216 feet thick. And so 1,400 miles, that's a long way. Thinking about, you know, I don't know, Earth from space, we're really getting into the mountains of, past the mountains into space. I think this picture can really give us an idea of how high 1,400 miles really is. Because when you look at the height of our atmosphere, like around here, they say it's about 6 miles high or so. Obviously, this probably isn't a good photo of that. But when you talk about 1,400 miles high, you're really getting high up above the earth. This is another description of just the height of the city. And so, I think that when we just keep our eyes on heaven and keep our eyes on the reward of God, I think it can definitely motivate us to want to be there. So thanks so much, and I will talk to you on the next one. See ya.